Enos Kay was a young man who lived in Egypt Pycross County. He was known to be a very hard-working man and was envied by all the other men in his town as he had managed to capture the attention of Elvira, a beautiful woman who lived in the same town. For many years, Enos Kay saved up money to have a proper wedding. Enos and Elvira were very happy with each other and arrangements were underway for the big day. Everything was going on well. One day, a local preacher organized a picnic and most people from the town came to have a good time. One of them who attended the picnic was a stranger who was visiting this town for the first time. Depending on who tells the story, he was given different names, but mostly referred to as Mr. Brown. Women who were present there were attracted to this handsome stranger, and so was Elvira. Mr. Brown made his move towards Elvira, the local beauty, and they enjoyed each other's company throughout the day. Enos just stood there and watched. The next day, people started talking about how Mr. Brown and Elvira were spending more time together walking hand in hand. Enos ignored all the rumors as he was certain that Elvira loved him and was devoted to him. He was sure that she would never betray him. A few days later, Enos heard people saying how Mr. Brown had crept up to Elvira's bedroom and had proposed to marry her. He also heard people say that Elvira had accepted his proposal and the two had eloped. Worried, Enos rushed over to Elvira's house and found the house empty. Just like people said, the two had eloped. Overcome with grief and anger, Enos swore to haunt all happy couples until the end of days. And shortly after that, he hung himself from the rafters of Timon's Bridge and committed suicide. Soon after Enos's funeral, there were stories of a young couple who were attacked by an unseen force at Timon's Bridge. Frightened, they reported an invisible force attacking their buggies and shaking them violently. Some even said that the evil entity ripped open the roof of their buggies, revealing the demonic face of Enos Kay staring down at them with an evil grin. Encounters with the ghost of Enos Kay are reported even today. Apparently, he does not bother lone motorists who are passing through the bridge or couples that are seen fighting and not involved romantically with each other. True to his words, he attacks only those couples who are seen enjoying each other's company. Love can be a blessing, but it can be sometimes very brutal. The story of Enos Kay made me recall this incident which happened a long time ago. It was both tragic and horrifying. There was a man in his late 30s who was in love with a girl much younger than him. He used to stalk her all the time. The girl's family had given him several warnings and had told him that they would never get their daughter married to someone who was so much older than her. The girl too did not like him and she kept ignoring him. This girl used to walk to her university every day and she took a particular route. A small part of this route was a tiny passage that was between the corner walls of two massive schools. People barely used that route and it was most often empty. One day when this girl was passing through that passage, this man who was stalking her grabbed her hand to hand her a gift that he had bought. The girl, who was horrified, pushed him and ran home. The girl's family, who had lost their patience, reported this to the cops and what followed was not very pleasant. He was not seen for a few weeks after that. Just when they thought the nightmare was over, this man who was released from prison came to meet her at the passage where he was sure to find her alone and he shot her. Sadly, the girl passed away and left her family heartbroken. The man was never caught as he ran away immediately after shooting her. People who heard the gunshot came to check and they found this girl lying in a pool of blood in that passage. This incident was in the news for many days and the investigation went on for a very, very long time before this became one of those unsolved cases. The man was never caught. There were many who claimed to have seen her in that passage. Some have even heard her cries. They believed that the girl was waiting to get her revenge and was unable to move on to the other side. We were one of those few who used to take that passage on the way back from school as it was a shortcut. But after the incident, we stopped taking that route for good. We only hoped and prayed for the man to get caught and justice to be served. There are so many in this world who face an unnatural death and are stuck wandering either to get revenge or to fulfill their wishes which they couldn't when they were alive. Some have trouble leaving their loved ones behind. Over time, these souls forget who they were and why they did not move on, and get miserable and frustrated, and finally turn into those angry entities which attack even innocent people. It is very sad that some of these entities that attack people and cause harm were once very kind and were simply a victim of a horrific crime. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Please take care and have a lovely day.